what's my background. Okay, so people who do not know me yet, first of all, I have to welcome all of you to the content marketing session. It really means a lot to me because you guys are over here. So thank you so much for coming in. It's really a good pleasure. So first of all, my name is Hitesh Motwani. I own two companies over here. I own Nostrum Academy, and I also work with. I also own this company called Skillopedia. And I've been in consulting and digital marketing space for the last 10 years. I've been doing digital marketing for almost over a decade right now. And in the past, I have worked with companies like Ratan Tata, Tata Group. I'm also faculty with IIM Bangalore. I launched Twitter in India. I used to work with Ogilvy as head of strategy out there. And prior to that, I used to work with a company called Crompton Greaves, where I was head of digital marketing. And before that, I used to work with a company called Rediffusion Wayanad, where I was handling Mr. Ratan Tata's digital marketing account. And prior to that, I was working with a company called Burson Marsteller, where I was heading the PR for the Kota Group. All right. And this is what, so basically today I'm going to show you how can you start your digital marketing journey in no time. And most importantly, how can you start doing content marketing? How can you start taking content to the next level, right? And this particular session is specially curated in mind, keeping sales in your mind. I mean, how do we start getting sales using content? Now, how many guys over here would like to actually start doing more sales? You want to just go out there and start, doing more sales. You want to get more customers in your kitty. Give me a quick eye on the chat box. You want to start doing more sales. You are really hungry to get more business, and you're wondering how to get business, right? So I'm going to show you some very quick ways today on how to get some. And how can you kickstart your journey by doing what we do the best, okay, which is content marketing. So let's get started over here. First of all, I would request all of you guys to follow us on on Instagram. These are our handles: @Nostrum Academy, @Hitesh Motwani, and also @Neil Dodia. Right. So please, essentially use this handle to follow us to get more updates. And also we'd like to give a special shout out to our partner Networking Now, because without them this particular session was not possible. They have been one of our partners, helping us out to reach out to many entrepreneurs just like you all, right? So big shout out to them. So first of all, let me answer a basic question on what exactly is content marketing. Before I start telling you more about it, I want to understand from you guys. Can you just quickly put in the chat box on what exactly you feel is content marketing all about? And when I say the word content marketing, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Let me put in the chat box. Script, promotion, blogs. All right, I can see SEO, writing about products, story of product, infographics, good command on English, target marketing, SEM, vlogs, blah, 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 blah. A lot of things. So content marketing is not just one word. It's actually what I call is, content marketing is more to do with storytelling. It's all about telling a story. It's about the way you tell your story. That's what really matters. And if you're a good storyteller, let me tell you, you're a good content marketer, right? Because without storytelling, nothing is really fruitful. So let me give you an example over here of storytelling. So, when I was long back, about 10 years back, I used to teach, finance to people. And, finance is a very difficult subject to teach because it is not that easy to tell students about what does finance actually mean. So I used to always ask people that, I used to compare the entire finance with a love story. And what I used to basically do is I used to ask people that, okay, you know what, if you like somebody in your life, let's say if you're a crush on someone, what is the first thing you notice in the opposite person? And what are the things you look for in your partner? Some people should say rich. He should be caring, should be understanding, should be humorous. He should be, knowing about my needs. Okay. And I used to always relate all of these things to finance. Now you wonder, like, how does this relate to finance? Exactly, when you start choosing a stock, or when you start analyzing an investment, right? What is the first thing you do? It has to have the same qualities as if you're choosing a partner. First of all, you're like how we see in relationships. Sometimes people say, I want a rich guy, I want a rich girl. Your investments also have to make people rich. Second thing is you should understand your partner. You should be compatible to each other. Your investments also needs to be compatible to you. You need to understand your investments. You can't really rely on somebody else to manage money for you if you do not really understand what does investment mean to you. Third thing is, you need to feel safe with your partner. Same thing with investments. You need to also be feeling safe with your investments, because if your investments are going down, there's no point. If you see, this phenomena of interrelating things and making things relatable is content marketing. Are you very clear over here? Give me a quick yes on chat box, right? So essentially, you should be knowing your game pretty well. Second thing about content marketing is to go to a specific person. It's not about marketing to everybody. Like when I ask people that, okay, you know what, whom do you want to market? A lot of people say everybody who has money, I want to market that particular person. But that's not how content marketing really works. Content marketing really works with a very specific set of intentions. That means when you start putting out content, it's not for everybody. It is for the classes and not for the masses. Let me give you an example. Let's take, for example, we got a Saffola oil. And there are two people in front of me. I got Shah Rukh Khan, who is telling me, okay, you know what? I'm going to charge you 10 lakh rupees and I'm going to promote your Saffola oil. There's Sanjeev Kapoor who's saying, I'm also going to charge you 10 lakh rupees and promote Saffola oil. Now, they both are charging the same money. Obviously, Shah Rukh has got more stature, he's got more audience, he's got more fan following than Sanjeev Kapoor. But if you have to promote a Saffola oil, whom will you go to? Shah Rukh Khan or Sanjeev Kapoor? Put in the chat box. Sanjeev, right? Everybody goes Sanjeev Kapoor. Why? Because he has got influence on a specific set of audience. And that's what content marketing is all about. It's not about reaching out to everybody. It's about reaching out to basically a specific person that can actually make you reach out your content to the right audience, right? So a lot of people, they get carried away with things like, oh, this is my visitors on the blog, my traffic. Well, it's not important to get traffic. It's not important to get visitors on the blog. It's very, very important, all right, to basically get relevant people to your blog. It is about having relevancy, because if you start getting any Tom, Dick and Harry to your blog, to your website, to your articles, it will make no sense. But if you start getting relevant people to your blog, to your articles, that will make more sense, right? So the keyword over here is, when you start making content, it has to be in a story format. Number two, a content needs to be specific, because the more specific you go, the better it is. And number three, the content has to be relevant. Type the word relevant on the chat box in case you got this right. Now, why do I keep on telling you to type every single time? Because, my mother used to say, handprints are brain prints. What if you write, you basically start putting in your brain. And that's what content marketing is all about. So remember, guys, you need to make a content more relevant. It's not about just being just about having content out there. It has to be relevant to the right target audience, right? Let's go forward. Now, let me start telling you, like, what can content marketing be? Content marketing can actually help you drive sales. And it's true. I'll give you a classic example. So there was this G.I. Joe. I'm sure that all of you must have heard about G.I. Joe. There was this movie on G.I. Joe as well. And G.I. Joe is very famous toys, which is about commandos and combat operations and all that stuff. Now, G.I. Joe was a toy before. Later on, it became a comic, by the way. They want to sell their toys. But unfortunately, what is happening over here is, okay, the biggest problem with G.I. Joe was that the toys reached a stagnation level, where the sales were not going up as much as they wanted to. Now the question is, how do they start bringing in sales? How do they basically start making the toy still relevant in today's time? So what they did is, they tied up with Marvel Comics and they started launching comics for the G.I. Joe toys. When Marvel Comics started basically publishing their books and their stories on G.I. Joe toys, the G.I. Joe toys actually went up automatically. All right. And that's really the power of content marketing. It's about, content can be in any format. So a lot of people assume that content should only be in written format. Not really. Content can be in any format. It can be written, visual, toy, whatever you want. But that in true sense, my friends, is content marketing. Now, let me give you an example of what really content marketing is all about. Okay. So, before I do that, let me just show this to you. Have you heard of Michelin star restaurants? Michelin star? Give me a quick yes or no. Right? Michelin, basically, Michelin star is like a prestigious, I would say, a badge given to a chef or to a restaurant that the hotel is like fantastic. Now, when you hear the term Michelin, what is the first thing comes to your mind? So Michelin star is like a, you can say it's like a IFA awards of, restaurants. If you get this, your sales, everything will double up. Tire company, exactly. Akash said tire company, right? So Michelin basically, got, Michelin is a tire company. Now, do you think a tire company would be awarding restaurants? What do you feel? Yes or no? Not really, right? Everybody's saying no. What if I tell you it is the Michelin tire company who is awarding and telling people which are the best restaurants in the world? Now you're wondering, like, how is this possible? And what is guy saying? Is Hitesh really gone insane? Like, why does he do that? Right? And why does a tire company, for heaven's sake, give an award to a restaurant? Let me tell you a story behind this. Right? So what used to happen in the olden days is, this was a time when there was no TV, nothing. And Michelin is a very old company. So they used to go to people's house, they used to leave pamphlets in people's house. Now, when they used to do that, what typically happened is, and they should say that these are the best restaurants in the outskirts of Europe. So in case if you're interested, on over the weekend drive, go to the restaurant and this is what is good over there. You should have this over there. And to the surprise, people actually drove on the weekends to the restaurant, and restaurants were like totally surprising that, what, our sales are like doubling up. How does these people come to know about us? When they figured out that when Michelin puts a pamphlet in people's house, that is when the restaurants get full. Now, looking at this demand, every restaurant wanted to basically go to Michelin and tell them, can you basically put our name in your list? And that was the evolution of Michelin star restaurants. How many guys over here are totally surprised right now? And you're feeling this is like wow. Type the word wow on chat box, right? And this is a true story, my friends. It's a tire company that gives rating to hotels, right? And this, my friends, is content marketing. You see, it was going back in those days as well. Let me tell you a second story, right? Have you heard this thing called Guinness Book of World Record? Yeah. Now, when you see the word Guinness, what comes to your mind? Beer. Correct. People who drink, they know. Guinness is a beer. Now, do you think, basically, beer company right now basically starts, functioning Guinness Book of World Record? What do you feel? Is it a beer company who kind of, gives Guinness Book of World Record? Yes or no? What do you feel? Now you're saying maybe, right? A lot of you are saying no, do not know. All right. Actually, it's true. It is the Guinness beer that basically also owns the Guinness Book of World Record. Like how in India we have Limca Book of Records when we have the Limca drink with us, right? So actually, now the question is, why would a beer company promote world records? And that's really the thing to really ponder upon. Is because whenever we get drunk, what do we say? We say कि मैं तो आज record तोड़ दूंगा. तुम देखो मैं कैसे करता हूँ. See how I'm going to do things. Today I'm going to break all the records. I'm going to show that particular person that I'm also best for her or best for him or do this. Has that happened to you? When you get drunk, you always feel like breaking records. You feel like doing things which you've never done before. Yeah, which is why basically a Guinness beer sponsors Guinness Book of World Record, right? And that's exactly, my friends, content marketing. So content marketing is not about just about making great content. It's about making a property. It's about making that thing that people know you from. And ultimately, when time comes right, people will buy from you. How many of you guys over here loved this so far? You love both the examples. You got a very clear picture of content marketing to the next level. It's not just a regular content marketing, right? All right. Now let me kind of move forward. Let me just tell you, let me go to the more meatier part of what exactly content marketing is. So let me kind of show you what exactly content marketing is all about. So essentially content marketing, okay? Today if you see, we are pondered with content. We got about 2.4 billion pieces of content, okay? So 2.4 billion pieces of people currently are online right now. And they're kind of surfing the internet and they're surfing things out there, right? So today about 144 billion emails are sent, 30 billion Google ads are seen, 1 billion people are active on Facebook, and 175 tweets are sent every single day. Not only that, today if you see customers got enough content available through the internet. All right. And the result today, maximum people ignore anything that doesn't interest them. Right. They completely ignore all that stuff. We also call this interruption marketing, where we interrupt the person's behavior, we interrupt people's behavior right now because, they're trying to busy something else, but they're trying to, but you're not able to catch their attention, right? So what is the alternative? The alternative is you stop doing direct sales and you start doing indirect sales to people, right? This is where content marketing actually helps. So content marketing essentially, it informs your audience about the most relevant things to them. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you one more example of content marketing. BuzzFeed, Scoop Whoop, why their content always goes viral? Because they've cracked this formula of going viral. Let me explain this to you how. Let's take, for example, you are a biker and normally listicles work very well. We say top 10 things a biker might love, top 10 things you should do when you're going on road trip to Leh Ladakh, blah, 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 blah. Let's take, I want to make you understand what is specific content. Suppose I'm a blogger, I'm a biker, and I write this content called top 10 things a biker should do when he's driving on a highway. All right. Do you think this content is specific enough? Yes or no? Put in the chat box, yes or no. Exactly, this is quite specific, right? But in the digital world, this is still very broad. You know what is specific content in digital world? The specific content in digital world would be top 10 things only a Harley Davidson fan would understand. And only a top 10 things a Harley Davidson, person should do while riding a bike on the highway. Which one is more specific now? Top 10 things a biker should do or top 10 things a Harley Davidson rider should do? Right? Second one is the first one. Second one. Right? Now imagine, let's take for example, if Vishal is a Harley Davidson fan and if he comes across this content, what will basically he do? Right? He will share this content among his friends, right? So it doesn't matter. I don't want to target people who do not own a Harley, right? I want to target those people who own a Harley. Now, next month, can I repurpose the existing content and can I start writing something like top 10 things a Royal Enfield fan would do? Top 10 things, only a Java motorbike would do? I can, because the maximum pointers remain the same, right? I would just have to change few things here and there. That's what happens every single time, my friends. And that exactly is content marketing. Let me give you one more example of content marketing. On how does it drive sales? That's what they do. Sometimes these brands would want to pay money to Miss Malini or a Scoop Whoop or a BuzzFeed to drive content. Because that content, when it goes viral, it becomes like a permanent property for them. Let's take, for instance, you must have heard about Dove. What does Dove do? How does Dove kind of do things? So Dove essentially starts doing things, okay, only and only, via all of these, via content marketing. So, they start doing campaigns, they start telling people about which, left or right, or blah, 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 all of those things. And that's how basically, things actually work, right? So if you see, they do content marketing throughout. Let's look at Patanjali. How did Patanjali launch in the market products of aloe vera and they flooded things with aloe vera? They did not promote Patanjali. They promoted aloe vera and benefits of aloe vera. Wherever you went, whichever blogger you went, they all said aloe vera is good for you, aloe vera is good for you, aloe vera is good for you. And when you Google search, you find Patanjali coming up on top and you say, you know what? I want to buy aloe vera gel from Patanjali. I want to buy aloe vera soap from Patanjali. That's basically what we call as content marketing. So you do not really promote your brand directly, but you start promoting your brand indirectly via content, right? Let me explain this to you. Let's take, for example, Jess over here. She does all her stuff all by her own. And, she's looking at Handyman Joe, who published a lot of do-it-yourself tips on his website. He keeps on telling, how can you repair your homes? How can you repair your stuff at your place? Blah, 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 right? This helps basically, Jen fixes up all things at her house. Now, Jen ultimately trusts Joe because whenever she wants something, this is a preferred guy. He's the preferred person whom she always goes to. And one day, Jen faces a problem that is bigger than that she can handle. Right. And finally, whom do you think she will go to? Or whom do you think she will basically, want to call at this point in time? She'll want to call Joe, right? Why is that? It's because Joe has helped her throughout, by giving her free content, by giving her value. And when the time comes right, people will definitely buy from you. And that's content marketing. So content marketing is not a short-term game. It's actually a long-term game. You can't really think, okay, you know what, I'm going to do things in a very similar fashion. But you need to think from a long-term perspective. Because till the time you don't think long-term, you cannot really do you cannot really do content marketing, and that's what really it is, right? And that's how things really work. And this exactly is my point, people. You need to start doing things in a better way. So you know let me tell you one more story. There's this guy called Mewar Marbles. Have you heard of Mewar Marbles? I'm sure you must have never heard about him, right? So tell you what this Mewar Marble guy does. Okay, this particular person, so I stay in place called Santa Cruz. There's this huge area for where people sell granite, marbles, and all that stuff. This guy, Mewar Marble, all right, he was one day bored. Okay, he was kind of looking at things and he was figuring out, what to do, how do we do, like what do I, and he used to always watch content on YouTube. He said, why can't I start posting content on YouTube, about marbles and all of these things, correct? And ultimately, when he started putting out content, he started getting orders not only from India, he started getting orders from across the world as well, right? And that's exactly, how it really works. And he's now selling franchises of his own by doing all of these things, correct? Now, we also did the same thing in between for content marketing. So if you see, what we did. So last time, how we started a series? We started a series on Janta Curfew Day. When Prime Minister Modi announced Janta Curfew, right? That is the time we actually were, the moment he pronounced curfew at 8 o'clock, about 8:30, we put out content on our Instagram channel. If you look at Instagram channel, across all the content where engagement is about 25, 30, 40, 50 engagement. But because we were topical and because we hit the spot in the right time, so we made a small creative out here, thinking what to do on Sunday Janta Curfew, swipe right for solution. And we gave our first free webinar, right, during the lockdown. That time, organically, without spending a single rupee on ads, we got about 186 people showing interest that they want to learn digital marketing. And they come for a free webinar. And this is one of the highest engaged posts of ours among all our posts that we did. So it's also about being topical and being trending. It's not just about you putting content randomly. You need to put content strategically. Okay. So that's how you need to start doing things. Now, second thing what I've seen is people start putting the same content everywhere, right? And they just keep on copy pasting stuff. Do you think it's the right way to do this? Do you think the right way to just put content out there? Not really. You need to start making content more specific, right? So let me explain to you. If you have to make your content, how would you basically start putting content on different channels? So Twitter is all about real-time content. So when you start putting content on Twitter, the same content has to be put in an active voice. For example, if you're watching a match of Virat Kohli on TV, and if Virat Kohli hits a six, and you're a brand called Carlsberg, how can you utilize this time? You'll say, do you want to go as high as the last six? If yes, drink Carlsberg, right? You see what I did? I took a topical content, which is trending right now. I took my brand and I combined both them together. So no, though this is a very old strategy, so much of content, but this still really works because people, who kind of follow you or they look at your handle, they can relate to this content. So content has to be relatable in this case. All right, that's the first thing. So Twitter is all about this. It's all about understanding real-time content. So when I'm having a samosa, I'll say I'm eating a samosa right now, right? That's the first thing. Let's talk about Facebook, right? How many guys over here have got at least 400 friends on Facebook? Give me a quick eye on the chat box. At least 400 friends on Facebook. How many guys over here have at least, 1,000 friends on Facebook? Type the word 1,000 on the chat box. If you got at least 1,000 friends on Facebook. And if you got more than 4,000 friends on Facebook, type the word 4,000 on chat box. So a lot of you have got multiple friends. But the question is, whenever a brand puts content When you start surfing Facebook right now on your phone, how many people do you see on your timeline? How many people do you see on your timeline at one point in time? No matter how much of friends you have. How many people do you see? Hardly 7 to 15 people, right? Or max 20. You do not see more than 20 people on timeline in every single time. So it does not matter if you got 1,000 friends, 2,000 friends, 4,000 friends. A lot of people tell me, you know what? I want to get more likes on my Facebook page. I want to get more people on my Facebook page. It's bullshit. There's no point. So which is why if you want to get more people in your Facebook pages, okay, there's no point wasting money and effort on this. Why? Because Facebook doesn't care how many people do you have. Facebook is becoming more pay to play. If you really want to get people, you have to pay to get a higher reach, because in the organic reach, your organic reach is only going to be 1% on Facebook. But Facebook only shows content to those people who actually interact with them. So your job on Facebook is to get people to interact with you. The more people talk to you, the more people interact with you, which is when you put content over there, it has to be engaging. For the same content which I just put earlier about Virat Kohli and Carlsberg, I will not put the same content on Facebook. I will say, what do you think? Will Virat Kohli hit a 6 or he will hit a 4? Put your comment over here, and people start commenting, saying 6 or 4, 6 or 4, 6 or 4, 6 or 4. And the more comment I get, the more viral reach I get. As simple as that, right? That's how it is. The same formula also works on Instagram. So they got this algorithm called the edge rank. That's how they really work. That's what you should be doing in this case as well. Are we clear on this so far? Give me a quick clear on chat box. All right, let's talk about YouTube. Now on YouTube, you see, it's all about visual content. Now I can eat basically very simple stuff over here. Okay, basically, let's say if I'm a samosa, and suppose you're a very sophisticated audience. Okay, I can actually eat a samosa with a fork and a knife, but I don't basically care all about you, and I can actually simply put my burger in my mouth, and basically I can let this fall in my body, right? So the same thing happens on Facebook, on YouTube as well. YouTube is all about visual content. The more visual content you have, all right, and the more better it will actually become. So you need to essentially have more visual content out there, because that's how it really works. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. So on YouTube, if you really need to work with people, you need to basically have a great story to tell. YouTube is all about storytelling. Okay, that's what really it is. So what I said about Instagram, a lot of people are saying about Instagram and all these things. All right, Instagram and Facebook work in the same algorithm. You need to get people to engage with you. All right, and I've just shared a YouTube link with you, just in case you want to share this link with your friends, family, your office. You can do that, and they can actually watch this recording. You can actually watch this live on YouTube as well. All right, so this is basically all about YouTube. YouTube is all about visual medium. So I wouldn't just put a samosa. I would eat samosa in very funny fashion. I'll put probably a smiley with a sauce and eat samosa on top of it. That's YouTube for you. Let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is all about professionalism. Let's take, for instance, my skill set is eating 50 samosas in 1 hour. That's how I'll put content on LinkedIn. You need to put about your skill sets. What are you very good at? In case you're good at something, put it on LinkedIn. You're good at digital marketing, put it on LinkedIn. You're good at making craft, art, or etc., 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 put that on LinkedIn. Right? Because LinkedIn can actually help you to take your stature to the next level. A lot of people, a lot of brands, a lot of companies will start coming and approaching you if you just start sharing content. Right? Let's talk about Instagram. Instagram is all about photography. So I will not just put a simple samosa photograph. I'll take my samosa, click a nice picture. Then I will just put a samosa. I'll put a arm swag at the bottom, put some sunglasses on side, give a good tinted view, click a nice photograph, make it black and white, and I will share it on Instagram. I'll say it's a classic photograph of my samosa. That's Instagram for you. Right? Let's talk about blogging. All right. Now, what do you think about blogging? Do you think basically, any idea how this blog term was coined, first of all? How this term blog was coined? Any clue on that? Any idea on that? Okay, so blogs come from these two words. It's called web plus log, right? So basically, what is web plus log? Let me explain this to you. So basically, web is nothing but anything on the internet. Okay, that basically comes in a chronological order. So you must have seen basically things coming in a chronological order. Like, for example, you have got call logs on cell phone, right? Now, what's the specialty of a call log? The specialty of a call log is that all the calls come in a chronological order, right? And anything on the web which is in a chronological order is called a blog. That's how this term is coined. Web plus log becomes blog. All right. So blog is all about experience sharing. It's about how you share your experience. So if you see, sometimes a news site is also called as a blog. Why? The entire news comes in a chronological order. Right. Now, how can I write a blog? You can use this platform called medium.com. You can also use this platform called WordPress. So probably should come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to cover blogging and I'm going to show you how do you write your blogs. All right. I'm going to explain this in detail. And the last thing over here is Pinterest. Pinterest over here is all about infographics. You can start putting the things in a very infographical way. For example, instead of putting a samosa recipe, I can put samosa recipe in an infographical format. I can put a kadai ka photo in a samosa ka photo. Then I can put samosa going inside the kadai. Then I can basically put samosa coming outside the kadai, right? And finally, I put a plate with samosa and a coriander chutney over here. And that basically is Pinterest for you. And this is how, my friends, you should be putting your content. So Twitter is more real time, Facebook, Instagram more engaging, YouTube more visual, LinkedIn more professional, Instagram more picture friendly, blog more descriptive, and Pinterest more infographic. So if you are posting the same content across all the channels for a business, you're doing it wrong. You need to have customized content for customized channels, but that's how you can get more reach in your content. But if you start putting the same content everywhere, it won't really work for you. It might not really be good to you in this case, right? So are we clear on this, people? On what are the different content formats, okay, and how do you start doing this? Give me a quick yes on chat box, right? In case if you're keen, I would want you to do this. I would want you to basically click a photograph of this, post it up on Instagram and on other places, tag us, tag @Northstorm Academy. All right. So Foursquare is basically gone, okay, and instead, Foursquare is a check-in based application actually, and that's what it is. And it's not necessary. Now, I got a very interesting question: is it necessary to be on all social media? Not really. It's not compulsory to be on all social media. All right. You need to be on those platforms that is more relevant to you. If the platform is not relevant to you, there's no point being on all platforms. Okay, Bhushan, we might consider it, but I'm not really sure if we can do a session on backlinks right now. All right. All right. So let's go forward. Now, let me kind of tell you on how to basically make what we call the content funnel. And this is the most important thing, my friends. I want you to really pay attention to this one because this exactly might change the way you look at content. And now I'm going to show you how do we start getting sales for this content. All right. So let's basically look at this. So if you see, how do people first of all come to know about you? Anybody on the internet comes to know about you with this thing called 3Ss. Type the word 3S on the chat box. Okay. Because 3S's are the most important. What is 3S? People only come to know about your brand or about a company through social media, Google searches, or shopping online. That means they come to know you from Amazon, Flipkart, Carvale, Cartrade, First Cry, blah, 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 blah. So they only come to know from 3S. Do you agree with me? Give me a quick yes on chat box if you agree with me. That's the only way people come to know about you. Now, when your job is not to just put content or blogs or articles out there. Your job is to technically get these people to come and discover you and come to this thing called as your website. Okay. And on your website, okay, now when you basically put your website, you will not just leave him by putting content, because what is great content for if the person is not able to reach out to you? So remember, people, the first step is to be visible. You be visible on 3S's: social media, Google searches, or shopping online. Social media is what? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. What is searches? Is SEO, SEM. What is shopping online? Is Amazon, Flipkart, Cartrade, Carvale, First Cry. Depending on your niche, where you are. If you're a restaurant, you can actually be online on your things like Zomato, Swiggy, and all that stuff. Correct. Now, when they figure you out, They come to your site, they start reading more about you. They start reading about your blog, they start reading about your content. In every content, you should definitely have what we call as a call to action. You should get them to fill up a form. Now, when they basically fill up a form, all right, that basically is what we call as a lead. So what we're doing is we're generating leads via our content. And once we get the lead, there can only be two scenarios. If you start following up, you start automating your business, you can start doing email marketing automation, chatbot automations, all that stuff. So if either he buys from you or he doesn't buy from you. Buys from you, that's a sale. If he doesn't buy from you, that's not a sale. Right? This is the first step or the first funnel. Okay, this is what we call as a funnel. What's a funnel? Funnel is a step-by-step procedure to get to sales. I'll give you an example over here. Let's take, for example, if I'm an interior designer, I want people to do, interior designer with me. So let's say I put some tips on interior designing on social media. People love it. They come to my website. They check about me. They say, let me just inquire. How much does he charge for interior designing? They fill up a form. They call me up. I tell them, you know what? We give you two services. One is I can actually do interior designing for you, for which I'll charge you about 5, 6, 7 lakhs. Or I can give you an advice. I can tell you how to go about interior designing. And for my advice, I'll charge you about 50 grand. They say, okay, they pay the money and I get an order. That's a simple funnel. How many guys over here now think a content from a different perspective, that this is how also content can be used? It's not just about you putting blogs, but having a blog with a lead generation tactic is extremely, extremely important. Give me a quick yes on chat box if you think it's extremely, extremely important for you. Yeah. This is what you should be doing, people. This is what you should be doing to drive sales in your organization. Correct? Now, will everybody who come to your site will buy from you? Not really. Correct? Now let's take, for example, what is don't buy from you? Then what happens? You start doing what? You start showing him ads via remarketing. Now you will say basically, why is ads? All right. I mean, ads is not a part of content marketing. My friends, ad is also a part of content marketing. Why? I'm not talking about content writing. Content marketing does not mean content writing, my friends. Content marketing means marketing your existing content. In today's time, you have to run ads. But when you start marketing a content, it is much cheaper as compared to you marketing for your sales. Right? Why? It's because when you start marketing a content, people read content. When you start marketing sales, nobody likes to be sold. And that's what the problem is. Now, there can be other forms of content marketing. They can be formed like a webinar, ebooks, seminars. All these are also content marketing, my friends. Right? So now I show him ads if he doesn't fill up the form, and I tell him what is he missing if he doesn't come to my site and if he misses out on this 10 tips to do interior designing for his house. So finally he gets convinced, he comes to my site, and this time probably he will actually, fill up the form. And when he fills up the form, I get a lead. So Ashish is nothing like unbiased opinion. Every opinion is biased. Everything in this life is biased. Nothing like unbiased. All right. For example, if I tell that your religion is not the greatest, you'll say, no, it's the greatest because I'm from religion. You're biased. Right? Everybody is biased. Correct? Correct. This is exactly the example. So what we're doing right now, a webinar is actually content marketing. Right? So we start showing him ads, and from his ads, he can come to us. So if you see Mr. Seniors, when you go to Amazon, you do an add to cart, you do not basically buy the product. The same ad starts following you everywhere, isn't it? Right? That's called remarketing, and that really happens. So this can be applied to any industry. It can also be applied to real estate industry as well. So for real estate industry, you can give a tip saying how to negotiate with the broker, how to basically buy a house, how to negotiate with the builder. Right? He clicks, he comes to your site. She's a good person. Telling me good tips. Let me fill up a form. Let me go and take services from him or her. Right? Same logic. Right? Every single thing is same. You can do this for any industry, my friends. Do you think this is basically gold? Right? And this is what you should be doing it for your business right now. You should be spending time on making funnels, spending time on making all these things, and this completely can be automated. The moment you fill up the form, an automatic email, an automatic SMS, everything goes over here. That's what we call is remarketing Swapnali. It's a complex thing. We normally put a pixel or a code on our website, and that's how they track you, and that's how they start showing you ads. And let me start telling you, something about a next level funnel, right? For example, you can also do this something called as affiliate marketing. What's affiliate marketing? Where you don't really promote things. Let's take you say I'm a bad promoter, I'm a bad content writer, but somebody else is a good content writer, you outsource the work to him. You tell him that if you give me qualified leads, I'll pay you money on conversions. I'll pay you money on every referral that you give me. That's called affiliate marketing. Then there's something called influencer marketing. We start basically going to other people. Like in between, we did influence activity with Ishika. She's a very famous mommy blogger, and we did that. We did the same thing with Isha, again a very famous mommy blogger, and she did that. We're doing the same thing with a lot of people. So we are collaborating. We do the same thing with networking now. They are basically our influencers, right? They kind of help us to reach out to more people. So influencer marketing also helps you to reach out to more people. Even that's content marketing. Then you can do inbound marketing by giving somebody free ebooks or free things, or free material, and then people come to you. That becomes like a lead magnet for you. That's a form of content marketing. Or you can also do what we call as digital PR, where you start getting published on internet, on portals. You start talking to different people about it. Blah 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 blah. You start doing that stuff, and when they come to you, they essentially come and land up to your blogs, right? And basically, if they land up on my blog and start reading articles, so I am building my credibility through a blog. But then I will obviously put a form over here for them to fill up to inquire about me. And that exactly is lead generation. I can do chatbots, I can do AI, and I can start doing things by over there. I can also essentially then this is how I also make a plan. I will actually go and reach out to every single potential partner who can help me to reach out to the next 10 or next 20 or next 30 or next 40 people. And most importantly, I can also automate the entire process. So I don't have to do this every day. I can sit one Sunday, make my entire content, publish my blogs, publish my articles, and I can basically start getting traffic on my blogs, start generating leads, and start generating sales. We normally call this content marketing on steroids. Let's take, for example, the next 30 days, if I make 30 content every single day, right? People will, say that this guy is providing insane value. If then I have to do a course, let me start doing a course with Nordstrom Academy, because they provide such a cast content for free. How good the paid content will be. And even that, my friend, is content marketing, right? And this is how you start building your journey on content. Was this valuable to all of you? And do you think this perspective can help you to reach out to more people, change your life, and change your things over here? Yep. That's what you should be doing. Right? And you should be basically doing over here. So influencer marketing, as I told you, is all about partnering with people and even like telling people to do that. So yes, now we're talking about B2B. It also works in the B2B segment as well. In fact, B2B sector uses content marketing the most than anybody else. For example, you've seen people taking out white papers, people taking out infographics, people talking about IoTs, people talking about a lot of other stuff. Even that is content marketing, right? And that's how it really is. All right. So essentially, if you see, there are essentially three types of content. So the first type of content, what we call is content that entertains people. It's like funny, it is humorous, it's entertaining in nature. The second content is what we call is content that helps. That is basically meant for giving value to people. For example, like currently we're making content which is helpful for people, empowering people during lockdown. And the third is basically what we call is content that sells, where I actually sell stuff. I sell a product, I sell a service, and my content is purely sales driven. Let's understand the example of content that entertains. So you can see over here, Zomato. Zomato is basically has a community of people. For example, if you see, they always make content which is relatable, and they make content that's entertaining in nature. So they don't really want to sell intentionally, but they want to build a brand. If it's instead of Game of Thrones, they made Game of Cones. How I Met Your Mother is How I Ate Your Butter. House of Cards, they made it to House of Tarts, right? And that's what it is, right? So they actually make content which is relevant, right? If you look at this, for IT people, this is a byte, kilobyte, megabyte, and gigabyte, right? And again, some relatable content in the best part about samosa is the starting and the end part. Then something about Diwali. This Diwali, why burn anything at all? Use Zomato. That's the first step, which is about content which is entertaining, which is funny, which is great, and that's it. It doesn't really have to have any call to action, but you're just doing it from a branding perspective. All right. Then second is what we call as content that actually helps. So over here, we're trying to help people out here. So essentially, McDonald's does this in between, where they got a lot of frequently asked questions. For example, if you see, one of the questions was that this burger, which is normally shown in their counter, and the burger that people actually get is totally different. And the counter looks like very fluffy, very nice, such a thick, big burger. But when I get the burger in my hand, it looks like a raw piece of sausage, which is just like and everything is just stuffed inside, and it's not looking pretty good. So they actually made a video on this, explaining people how to do this. So they actually got a food artist. They melt something. They put all the ingredients on one about the other. The ingredients are seen properly. Then they do what we call the stylized photography to show the burger on the screen. But when they're giving the burgers to you, they're in a hurry, and which is why they stuff the ingredients one between the other. That's how they give ingredients to you. So that's all about that, right? So they actually answered the most frequently asked questions they made a website for it, and that's also content marketing, because then more and more people go to the McDonald's website, create the brand recall, ultimately result in the sales, right? Or for example, you get Oreo. So Oreo makes content. So Oreo, why is Oreo successful? By the way, Oreo is almost 100 years old brand. But why is Oreo successful? Oreo is successful because they make content which is useful. If you see cakes use Oreo, milkshakes use Oreo, there's no other biscuits that actually are used apart from having a biscuit. But Oreo is used in everything else apart from biscuit as well, which is why Oreo is so famous. Now, when some questions say, for example, um, how can you use content marketing, right, for CAs? So for CA, you can start giving tips on how to save money. How to you can start helping people how to save taxes. You can start telling people how to manage finances, where to invest or not to invest, without actually having a heavy bias in mind. So you can actually do that, right? So content marketing is about ultimately helping people. Start thinking, how can you help your end audience? What can really make a difference in his or her life, right? And that's what basically it is, right? So they made Oreo brownies, Oreo hot chocolate, etc., etc., etc. And last is what we call is content that sells. Now, what is selling content? For example, look at First Cry. What they did is, on their website, they do not just sell products, but they also have what we call as a baby care quiz. They also have a journey of a mother who's pregnant, and every month they keep on telling what is happening inside her tummy. Right? So they also use their app as a content for people. For example, you know, you must have seen this. What we call is there's a website called Baby Center. Right? Anybody's got pregnant, they all know about Baby Center. So Baby Center is one site which has got a lot of repository, upon what people can actually, do, and how people can certainly see things. So Baby Center currently, okay, is who owns Baby Center, by the way? Any idea who owns Baby Center? May I guess? Let me see who gets it right. Is Johnson and Johnson. Absolutely right. Right. So Baby Center is owned by J&J. Now you will wonder, like, why does Johnson and Johnson own a Baby Center? And by the way, J&J does not even promote that heavily. All right. Now why do they own it? Is because they don't want to find the leads when people get a baby. Because when people get a baby, they actually they actually get busy. They will start finding leads from the time the mother gets pregnant. In the moment, they exactly know that when the mother is going to get pregnant, when they're going to have a baby, because when you sign up on Baby Center, you have to put your name, your email ID, your phone number, and what month, which month are you in, and when basically the right month comes, they start showing you ads for Johnson and Johnson soaps, Johnson and Johnson powders. That's what J&J is making, killing in the baby market, and that, my friends, is content marketing as well. So if you loved all of these things, my request is to go ahead on Instagram and follow us. Follow me, okay? Follow Nordstrom Academy and follow Neil, okay? Our co-founders. So this, my friends, is the benefit of content marketing. If you do content marketing right, it can help you to be found, help you generate sales, and more importantly, help you build a brand loyalty. Correct? If you think this was valuable for you, and this is the final outcome of content marketing, I want to quickly click a picture of this, upload on Instagram right now, and I want to tag me and Nostrum Academy on Instagram right away. Okay, that's what you should be doing, and that's what exactly content marketing is all about. It's exactly about this. It's all about doing things in a better way, and also making, content more viable, more visible to the right people at the right time. And when you start doing things, okay, you can actually start generating more business for your business, for your entrepreneurship journey, or for your interior designing, real estate, whatever it is. So I'm sorry we cannot share this presentation, but yes, you can always refer back to the video. So if you want any of the videos, go back to YouTube channel and all the videos are over there. Now I'm going to show you a very important concept, which again what we call is the content marketing funnel. All right. So there are about 3 things over here. So if you see in the content marketing world, we normally call this a funnel. All right. So what is funnel is something like an ice cream cone. You can tell me what is the most best part, which part is the best part about ice cream cones when you have a cone? We'll have a Q&A towards the end, Mr. Prakash. For that, you have to wait till the end when I complete the session. Right. The last part, the lower one, correct. The last part is the best part about a cone. This is exactly what content marketing is all about. The last part is the best part, right? So there are 3 stages in content marketing. We normally call this tofu, mofu, and bofu. What is tofu? Tofu is what we call is top of the funnel. Mofu is middle of the funnel, and bofu is bottom of the funnel. So don't really think it's a eating or it's some baby jargon, tofu, mofu, bofu, right? It's basically what we call is top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. That's what we call as tofu, mofu, and bofu. Okay. Now, the thing is that what exactly this is and how does it really work? Let me explain this to you. So, whenever you want to get people, the first stage is to basically attract people, get people to your website, right? That's what we call the awareness stage. The awareness stage is nothing but it is a tofu, top of the funnel. So at the upper part, let's say for example, you start putting out content, you start sharing your content on WhatsApp, your friends, family, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is. 1,000 people come and visit your website. Will all 1,000 people actually fill up the form in your website? What do you feel? Yes or no? Not really. Right? Nobody fills up the form when they come to your site. Out of 1,000 people, probably only about 20, 30 people might fill up your form. Right? Now the job of getting the form filled is called MOFU. Right? It's called middle of the funnel. Right? So in the middle of the funnel, you have to make it so compelling, you have to make it so attractive that the people actually fill up the form and they give you a lead. This is what we call as a lead. Right? And the third part, okay, once you get the lead, okay, once you get the person's data, you get the person's name, email, phone number. What's the third thing you should be doing? What's the third thing you should be doing? What will that result into? Result into sales. That's your BOFU, bottom of the funnel. The bottom of the funnel is the most sweetest part. So you need to get at least 1,000 people coming to your site. Out of which 20, 30 fill up the form. Out of the 20, 30 people, one person might get converted. He might give you the money and say, I want to basically do this thing or do this program with you, right? And that's called BOFU. So the journey goes like this. First of all, people are unaware about you. Then they become problem aware. That means they understand what the problem is. And so for example, I want to do interior designing. I want to get an interior designer in place. I got no idea where to find one. I want to decorate my house. That's my first thing. But I do not know how to decorate it. Somebody tells me, Hitesh, you know what? Go to an interior designer. It'll save a lot of time, money, and effort. I said, okay. So I become problem aware. The problem is now, how do I get a good interior designer? Right. So finally, I try to find one, I try to find a trusted one, but I do not know how to get one. So then somebody tells me you should ask this 10 questions to interior designers. If you ask the 10 questions to him, he might, if he answers these questions properly, he's a good interior designer for you. So I become solution aware. I become product aware. That means, okay, I'm aware now this particular thing actually works for me, and this guy is, or this girl is the right designer for me. And finally, all right, when that stage is reached where I completely trust that opposite person, I take out my money, give it to that person, say, you know what, do the interior design of my house. Now, this is also helpful in what we call as SEO, search engine optimization. How do you start ranking up on top on Google searches? So ranking up on top on Google searches purely with your keywords, right? Purely what people type about you. For example, if I come on Google right now and if I just type over here best interior designers in Mumbai, all right, what happens? I can see this ad coming over here called Design Cafe is running an ad currently over here. Then I got this Kiran Joshi, Mahesh Punjabi, Sonal Bhatia, right? So Mahesh Punjabi is a good friend of mine actually, and I find all these people out here, right? Best 25 interior designers, 25 interior designers, interior designers. So you see, there are about, I'm competing with about 25 million people right now. If I'm an interior designer and I want to basically start ranking up on top, so what's a good keyword for me? I want to rank for this word called best interior designer. But it's difficult for me because I'm competing with 25 million people. Then what do I do? So this, when will I search? At which stage you think will I search that I want to get the best interior designer? It will be tofu, mofu, or bofu. What do you feel? Which stage will I search? No, it's not tofu. It's actually in the middle. It's the mofu, right? For example, I will only search for a real estate broker in the middle. I won't search him at the top because first thing is I would want to understand that how do I do interior designing? I try to do on my own. I try to basically figure out, okay, you know what do interior designers do? Where to get the best interior designer from? What questions to ask to interior designer? If you want to rank on Google, probably the middle part and the bottom part is the most toughest right now because there are hundreds of competition and there are millions of people trying to, run ads or write blogs, write articles on the MoFu and the BoFu stage. Having said that, I don't mean that you shouldn't write articles over there. You should write articles in these two stages also. But if you want less competition, all right, you should be going for tofu. You should be first probably, writing, suppose the keyword is interior designing. So you should be writing articles in all three stages to attract people who are either not aware about you, to attract people to become aware about you, and to attract people to finally take the money and buy from you. For example, the best way to the best keyword to optimize for you will be the last one: hire an interior designer. Hire interior designer, right? That's the best keyword. But thing is, it's tough competition out there, right? But the biggest competition actually, surprisingly, is not in the bottom one. It's always in the middle one. For example, let's look at the example practically. For example, if I just type this keyword, the best interior designer has this competition of 25 million pages. Let's see if I type the word hire interior designer. It's got how much? 2 million. Only 2 million competition is there for hire interior designer. So which keyword should you be choosing? Should you be choosing the keyword which is best, or should you be choosing keyword which is called higher? What do you feel? Which is the best keyword, higher or the best? It's higher. Why? Because the competition over here to rank on top is very, very less. All right. But the competition for this is extremely, extremely high. It's 256 million. With this only 2 million, right? And plus that keyword is also low intent. That means people straight away want to hire a guy. They do not know where to get him from. But if I just type something like interior design tips, it's got approximately 130 million, okay, searches right now. It's okay. They might basically search for the best, but they might not hire one. When they say hire, that's definitely they're looking there at that stage. So why do you want to go for everybody? You don't want 100 customers coming to you. You want 10 customers who will pay you good money rather than having 100 customers pay you less money, right? It does not depend on the view or followers, Memon. It totally depends on the competition. That's how you search for a keyword. That's how you search for good content. That's how you write good content. All right. And that's what you should be doing, my friends. Do you think this really opened up your eyes and this really gave you a fantastic perspective on how to look for content, what is to be done, how it is to be done, and most importantly, how can you start doing content marketing better, right? So for finding keywords, currently there are a lot of tools. You might use Uber Suggest, you might use Google Keyword Planner, or the way I just showed you right now, search for different intent. Think if people are not aware about you, what will they type on Google? Think if he's aware about, if he wants to hire you, what he might type on Google. Think if he wants to hire somebody, what he might type on Google, right? Do that. I don't use anything. I use my gut to find keywords. I think like a customer. If I am a customer, I want to hire this guy, what will I search? That's what I do, right? No tools will tell you this. It's you who knows your customers better, correct? That's what it is. Now, I'm going to share with you a fantastic formula that can help you to multiply content, right? Because content multiplication is also an art, right? So basically, how do you do that, right? So how many of you guys over here, like you start putting a content in place, you start writing an article, but the biggest problem that happens to all of you, right, when you start writing an article, you start putting things in place, is something, which you feel that you think that you take a lot of effort in writing one content, but the returns you get in that content is very less. How many guys feel that? Give me a quick yes on chat box. Right? Yes, a lot of us feel that. Now I'm going to show you a small formula how to do this, and this can actually help you to change things for you for good. All right, change things for you for good. Let's understand how do we do this. So if you struggle to write content, don't write content. Shoot the content. Take your camera, shoot it. Right. So I normally call this the content multiplier. What's content multiplier? Content multiplier basically is where I will not just write content, I'll start multiplying my content. How do I do that? Let me help you understand this. First, I'll shoot a video. Let's take if I shoot a video on digital marketing. So I'll probably say top 10 things to do in digital marketing. I'll start shooting video on that. Then can I convert that video? I'll take that video pieces and I'll start putting across. Can I remove short quotes from that video? For example, I'll say, did you know that 80% of people read content, they don't look at ads? Or did you know that, if you want to get sales, ads can actually help you to get 10 times more sales than anything else. So whatever quotes I put in my video, do you think I can rip that off and I can make small quotes with it? Give me a quick yes on chat box. In case you think this is possible and we can do that. Yep. Yes, you can do that. Right. So what I'm doing is I'm not now making new content. I am actually repurposing my old content. Then I'm going to take my quotes, and now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to basically take my video, give it to a transcriber, give it to a small junior intern, and I'll actually ask him to write a blog for me. Can I do that? Can I basically get somebody to write a blog for me? Give me a quick yes on chat box. You think I can do that? Then can I just take a small creative, all right? And can I actually, can I cut this bigger video into shorter videos? And can I basically put these videos on Instagram or other places? Can I do that? Yep. Yes. Right. So yes, so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm not just making new content. I'm actually repurposing my content every single time. And you should be repurposing your content every single time. That's what you should be doing. Right. And finally, what I'm doing also is I am also, can I now make short creatives or social media posts from my existing content? And can I again start putting that up? Right. And from a video, can I rip off the audio? And can I basically convert that into can I just convert that into a webinar, into a podcast, and all of these things? Right. So this is technically what we call as a content multiplier. So I have to just make one video. Rest all the stuff which I do is basically a rework of the existing video in place. Now, just in case, since there are about 361 people out here right now, in case anyone of you is a video editor, who wants to do some freelance assignments on videos, probably ping me on WhatsApp. You can just find me on Google, because we need only a video editor right now. And it will be really helpful if you get one, right? So yeah, so basically, so this is what you can actually do. So this is what we call as content multiplication. You just make one content and you start multiplying your content accordingly, right? And you start doing things, in a different way. And that's how you can start doing things over here, step by step, step by step. And once you do this, all right, you can do that. Correct, Ashish. I'm still making different content, but I'm customizing content for different platforms, right? So I'm not putting, this is why I don't put the entire video everywhere, right? I am taking relevant bits of it and I'm putting up everywhere. And this is content marketing, my friends.